Hello and welcome to another No More PR Marketing Bollocks video. I'm the editor, Aaron Carpenter, and I'm joined by the author and curator of No More PR Marketing Bollocks, Bob Dearsley. Bob, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bob, I'd like to ask you today about improving business productivity, and in particular, a term which you're really fond of called taking a chicken test. How does that apply to business? What does it mean? Could you explain that to us?
Sure. This is one of my favourites. So it came from listening to a management consultant called Tom Peters, who'd been around for many years, and the premise is that verbal communication, particularly when it's at speed between people, can very, very easily go wrong. The picture I have in my mind of the job I want to get done, and my explanation of it, very often will fall entirely short of its description with the receiving person, and therefore so much time gets wasted by people working on projects, working on jobs which actually are way off beam, and the final result when presented is just not what the author, if you will, or the person with the idea wanted from the outset. And it's extremely common in the world of business in general, but particularly so in marketing, because extracting ideas from people's minds and getting them down on paper, on video, or whatever form of media you're working with, it's just extremely difficult. So in order to stop wasting time on unnecessary work, you've got to try to shorten the space between the original idea and the first version of whatever is presented. And it's epitomised in the world of jet engine manufacturing, because this is taking it to an extreme. But the chicken test is a key test in the process of making sure that your jet engine works. So you spend years potentially designing a jet engine, and then if you've got the design wrong, when they actually make the engine and fire it up, it has to be able to ingest a chicken in flight without stopping and without braking. So the idea is of an actual chicken test with a jet engine is that you line up this enormous cannon with a chicken in it, fire up the engine on your jet engine, pull the lever and fire the chicken into the engine, and it's got to carry on without missing a beat and just ingest the chicken and fire it out of the back. Now, if you do that and the chicken hits the engine and it bends a turbine blade and the whole thing smashes up, you're then absolutely back to the drawing board to do everything all over again. And the same is true of even a small mundane project on the same level, that if you do that chicken test after weeks of development or days of development, and it's not what the person concerned was looking for, your chicken test has to occur as close to the start point as you possibly can. Now, your chicken test might not be as graphic as firing a chicken at your project, but it might just simply be the fact that you draw a sketch very quickly of what you believe the output is going to be, or you rough out on paper what you want the storyboard for your video to be, but you do it as quickly as possible from the point of instruction. And if I take on board a project from you, and then within an hour or two I can come back to you and show you my chicken test, which is, this is what I think it's going to look like. If we're off beam, I haven't wasted much time at all. But if I took 2 to 3 days to put all of the presentation work into that, make it look absolutely superb and spot on, and then present it, and you say, no, that's nothing like what I wanted, then I've wasted all of that time in between. So my point is only, find what your chicken test is, whatever it might be, and do it as soon after the inception of the project as possible. And on that basis, you'll just save a huge amount of time of unneeded and unnecessary work. Simple as that.
Bob, that's a really valuable tip. Thanks very much for explaining to us what a chicken test is and how it can be applied in a business. We'll be doing this again, same time next week. Hope to see you there.
Thank you. Thank you.
No worries.